This wonderful encampment, this wonderful group of people doing such important work. I think it's clear that the road to freeing Palestine from occupation, from Zionist occupation, goes through freeing this campus from Zionist occupation. And you guys are on the right track. A few decades ago, students just like yourselves demanded that this campus divest from apartheid South Africa. And after 6 months, the campus did just that. And it only happened because of students like yourselves sat here and did not give up until they did the right thing. So divestment from apartheid in South Africa happened once, thanks to students like yourselves. Divestment from apartheid in Palestine will also take place thanks to you. The most important work to free Palestine is being done on campuses. It's been going on for a very long time, for many years. All the student groups on campuses, all the Palestine support groups around the country have raised the level of conversation on Palestine more than anyone and beyond what anyone ever imagined. So I want to ask you to take a moment and pat yourself on the back, because when Palestine is free from the river to the sea, you will be able to look in the mirror and congratulate yourself knowing that you had a part in that. And your children and your grandchildren will be proud of you because you stood here right now with Palestine. You stood here right now, day and night, demanding justice for a people whose blood is being shed like water, whose blood is being shed with the world turning the other way. You guys are standing up for what is, I would say, the issue of our time. All of us are going to be judged by where we stood on Palestine. And as the presidents of the universities and the administrations will be remembered, just like those who stood against Nelson Mandela, just to those who stood with injustice in other places, they will be remembered as those who stood with a genocide in Palestine. You, on the other hand, will be remembered as those who fought to end the genocide of the Palestinian people. And there can be nothing more rewarding, nothing more important than that. Look, my friends, there's no question that you are changing the world at this moment. You are doing exactly the right thing. You are demanding exactly the right thing. Politicians, public figures, university administrators like to say over and over again that there should be zero tolerance to racism. At the same time, they support Israel. At the same time, they proudly call themselves Zionism. You cannot say zero tolerance to racism and support Zionism. You have to take a stand. Zionism is without any doubt a racist, genocidal ideology that produced an apartheid state that has been engaged in genocide for almost 8 decades. 8 decades of genocide. It's interesting because it only took 3 years after the end of the genocide of the Jews in Europe for the commencement of the genocide of the Palestinian people. 3 years. And the same countries that fought to stop the one genocide is supporting this genocide. You know, we're hearing the numbers about how many are being killed every day, how many have died. You know, let me draw a picture for you. I know many of you are Palestinians, many of you have been to Palestine. Palestinian children are dying, not just from the bombing, not just from the starvation. They're dying because they've been walking around barefoot for months and they have cuts on their feet. There's no clean water to clean those cuts. There are no bandages and there's no ointment to put on these cuts, and they die from sepsis. Those kids are not being counted when we hear the numbers of the dead. People are dying from curable diseases every day throughout the Gaza Strip, not to mention other parts of Palestine. Every day, they're not even counted. Hospitals are filled in the Gaza Strip with people with infectious diseases that could be cured in 5 minutes. But this is the picture I want to draw for you. Take any point along the Gaza Strip, any point along the Gaza Strip. Drive east for maybe 10 minutes, and you have the best medical facilities. You've got all the clean water and food anybody could possibly want. But the people of Gaza are being denied access to medical care, to food, to clean water. That is the very definition of genocide. It's not just the bombing. It's denying people the possibility to access the clean water, the medical care, and the food that is readily available. We need to stand for two very clear objectives. The immediate and unconditional taking apart of the apartheid regime, dismantling the apartheid regime immediately and unconditionally. The unconditional release of over 10,000 Palestinians languishing in Israeli jails. And the immediate establishment of a free, democratic Palestine from the river to the sea with equal rights. Nothing less than that is even remotely acceptable. We need to continue to demand divestment. There have to be severe sanctions. There has to be an embargo on weapons, a no-fly zone over Gaza, and all of this has to be demanded unconditionally. Enough is enough. Somebody was asking me today, and this is a question I get a lot, will this happen in our generation or the next generation? Are we out of our minds? This has to stop now. Not my generation, your generation, now. Not a single Palestinian should be killed anymore, starting right now. That's the demand. No demand is appropriate other than that. There's a genocide going on, and it must be stopped, not tomorrow, not next year, right now. And it's up to us to do it. And I'll say again what I said in the beginning. Thank you for this courageous thing that we're seeing here, this wonderful expression of humanity. Keep it up. Don't give up. Don't give in. They are going to lose. Apartheid will fall here, and apartheid will fall in Palestine. And all of us, every single one of us, will see the liberation of Palestine in our lifetime if we continue working like this. Thank you very much, and do not give up.